Hello, friends. Good morning. How are you? Fine, good. So, my dear friends, I bring for all of you a new chapter for class 12, and chapter name is Indigo. This is most important chapter of your syllabus. So, I am going to explain. So, get ready. First, about writer. Louis Fisher. Louis Fisher is writer of Indigo. Louis Fisher was an American journalist. He born 29th February 1896, Philadelphia, in USA. He died on 15th January 1970, Princeton, New Jersey, USA. His father was a fish peddler. This Jewish American journalist was greatly influenced by Gandhiji's use of non-violence and spiritualism as political tool. He came to India in May 1942 and spent 1 week with Gandhiji in his ashram. So, Indigo chapter is an outcome of that interview where Gandhiji shared his experience in Champaran district. This story about Indigo, and this story revolves around a farmer. His name was Rajkumar Shukla. So, about chapter. This chapter, Indigo, is an extract from Louis Fisher's famous book, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi. This chapter, this chapter shows how Gandhiji freed the poor peasants of Champaran from the curses of the British planters. In 1916, a poor farmer named Rajkumar Shukla. The whole story revolves around Rajkumar Shukla approached Gandhiji to come to help of the peasants in Champaran. Gandhiji was that time in Lucknow to attend the annual conventions of the Indian National Congress. Rajkumar Shukla was a heroic person. He wanted him to see the miserable plight of the sharecroppers. Uh, then Gandhiji fixed the day. And said, "Meet me in Calcutta," and took me. When Gandhiji arrived in Calcutta, Rajkumar was already waiting for him at the appointed spot. Appointed spot. There, Rajkumar took Gandhiji to the house of Rajendra Prasad, who later became the President of India. At that time, Rajendra Prasad was out of the town, and Gandhiji was very simple in his dress. That was why the servants thought him to be another farmer. Gandhiji wanted to have a true picture of the actual condition. Gandhiji learned that the peasants in the district of Champaran were sharecroppers. By an ancient agreement, they had to plant indigo on 15% of the land. The entire crop had to be surrendered to the landlords as rent. The peasants were much unhappy over this injustice. By this time, Germany had developed synthetic indigo. The British planters found that it was no longer profitable to raise the indigo crop, so they obtained agreements from the sharecroppers to pay them compensation for not planting indigo on the 15% land. While many of the illiterate peasants signed this agreement, for this reason Gandhiji was in Champaran. Gandhiji met prominent lawyers of Bihar. Gandhiji met a number of government officials, but each one of them tried to bully him. Now, Gandhiji started collecting evidence of the injustice being done to the sharecroppers. There was a mountain of evidence against the British planters. At last, the landlords agreed to pay back the compensation they had illegally collected. Within a few years, the British planters left their estates. Their estates now came to the peasants. Indigo sharecropping had disappeared forever. The struggle of Champaran occupied almost a year of Gandhiji's life. He also worked to improve the social and cultural condition of the villages in Champaran. The Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhiji's life. It proved that the British could not order him about his own country. He taught his people to be self reliant and not to depend on any outside help. Thus, he took his people a step nearer to the Indian independence. So, my dear students, this is brief story of Indigo chapter, and the writer is Louis Fisher. So, this was my small efforts for all of you. If you like it, so subscribe and like. Thank you. Have a nice day.